Hey skaters, it's Stace here from Next Set Tutorials. In this lesson today, I'm going to show you how to have pain-free feet while skating on the ice. So normally our lessons are on the ice, we are learning and having fun, but if you have foot pain, it can be incredibly frustrating. So in today's lesson, I'm gonna show you how I tie my skates, and then we are gonna talk about some common foot pains and how to solve them. So let's get started. All right, so first thing, how do I tie my skates? I get a lot of messages asking this question. Well, I'm gonna show you right here. Now, I do have my right boot that I just grabbed, so let's put on my right skate. If you are superstitious, you pop on that left skate. So I wear tights when I skate because I find that I want something very thin in my boot. I know a lot of skaters who will go barefoot or they wear socks. It is a preference. You have to find out what works for you as a skater because everyone is different. No one is the same. But I wear tights because, again, I like that nice thin feeling on my foot. So put my boot on. I want to make sure that it is nice and secure. So I'm going to pull my laces. I'm going to pull them enough where my foot feels secure down there, but not super tight. I don't want to cut off any circulation through my foot. So I am getting a bit tighter through this middle section. It's very important that you get it not super tight, but it is tight through this middle section. We need to feel secure in our boot. We don't want to hurt our ankle. Here I'm just gently pulling. I'm not going like pulling and then pushing down. Just nice and easy because it does need to be a bit looser through here. I double knot it here. And see, I can still bend forward, which is exactly what you want. And you can put your fingers right here. They can slide in. If you tie it too tight through here, you're not gonna be able to bend, and that circulation isn't going to be able to get through your foot. So we want it a little bit looser here, tighter, and then a little bit looser at the top, but not loose to where your foot's gonna fall out or your laces are gonna come undone. So just enough to where it's that perfect fit holding. All right, before we move on, I want you to check out the link below in the description for your free PDF guide on the skating hacks that every figure skater should know. This is something that I wish that I had. That would have made my skating career so much easier if someone had been like, hey, here's a PDF of skating hacks and what you need to do and what you don't need to do. This would have been so helpful. So when you are ready, give it a click. Now, let's look at where mistakes can happen while tying your skates. Quickly undo this. Some skaters start down here, pulling them so tight, way too tight. They pull them so tight that my foot is already starting to throb in there because it's just way too tight. And look, I can't get my fingers down in that tongue area, which is so important. Now, watch when I stand up. Man, I already feel like my weight is pulling in the back of my boot, and I can bend my knee, but nothing's happening in the ankle, which I need. I need to be able to bend here and hold. This is where a lot of skaters go wrong. They tie their boot so tight, then it leads to other issues. Now, another thing that I notice skaters tend to do is they do a fabulous job all the way down here, tying their skates, and then they do this. They come up and cross, up and cross, up and cross. Your foot's not gonna stay tight at the top, and then they're off the ice retying their skates again. So it's more secure on the ice when you tie so you've already tied the bottom, you go down. It locks it in. It comes around, you push down, and it locks it in. And then you will notice you won't be retying your skates. I have to be honest with you, when I tie my skates on, at the very beginning of the sessions, it lasts for hours. I don't need to constantly go over and retie my skates. I have this way that I've shown you how I do it. It's been working for me for many years, and I don't find myself at the barrier retying my skates. So this is a very helpful tip that I want you to try next time you're going to go skating. All right, now that I've shown you how I personally tie my skates and I've given you some helpful tips on tying your skates, let's talk about some common issues that happen with skaters and why they have foot pain. And the first thing that comes to my mind is lace bite. This lace bite tends to happen right at that last knot that you make right there. Lace bite tends to happen right there where you tie it way too tight. It's like a buildup of the skin and it actually hurts to touch. So what you need to do is ease up on how tight you tie your skates. It is way too tight. So just remember, this is the part that you should just be a nice, easy bow. Like you shouldn't be pulling it again. Your foot is secure. It's not gonna go anywhere. I'm sure that when you got fitted for boots, they didn't make them 10 times your size. So your foot's not gonna fall out. It shouldn't be that tight. But right now, get a gel pad. Get a gel pad, and then I want you, every time you skate, just start loosening that top bit up because it should be where you can stick your fingers down there. If you can't, you're tying your boots way too tight. And you'll notice over time that lace bite will get better and better, and you will be able to bend more in your skates, which then helps out overall skating skills, jumps, spins, because if it is too tight, we're not gonna be able to bend in our knees, and that's what we have to do while skating. So the next issue is blisters, and these can happen for multiple reasons. Your boots are too big, your boots are too small, you have new boots, because you have to remember, these boots are sold around the world. They're not custom made, they are stock. So everyone's foot is different. So this is why we want to heat mold our boots, because then it will mold to your foot, or you can do something like punching out that spot where you're getting the blister. So I used to always get blisters right here on my instep. So I used to have to circle and then get whoever worked at the rink to punch that area out. All it does is like push the boot a bit out so that blister isn't rubbing. Now, again, I spoke about if your boot is too big, your foot's moving around and it could be rubbing, or your boot is too small. So these are things that you want to factor in. Is my boot too big for me? Is my boot too small? Or do I just have new boots and I need to get them heat molded or punched out? So there are quick ways that you can fix your blister pain. While I know it can be incredibly frustrating, it's just temporary. It's not gonna last forever because our bodies are amazing. Like I know that I used to get blisters right here where I said, right on the instep. My feet have calloused up in that area and I don't even feel that anymore, and I don't get blisters anymore in that area. So again, it's just temporarily, you will heal that blister pain. All right, the last thing that we are gonna speak about is the tongue slipping down in the boot. This can be incredibly painful, but the quickest fix. So what happens is the tongue slips down, and every time you bend and you take a push and you do a jump and a spin, it goes further and further down and it will push against your toes and it feels like your toes are breaking. Well, I have the best news ever because most boots come with this lovely little hook in the middle where it can keep your tongue up. So after, this is Mitch's boot by the way, after you've crossed it all, after you tied it up and you do a cross and you pull it up and then you go from the top, it won't allow it to slip down and hurt your toes anymore. It keeps it nice and tight and secure around your toes. Now my boot has it on there, but I tend to not use it because I don't find that my tongue slips down, but I know a lot of skaters experience it. And most boots, again, come with that little hook in the middle or like a little loop where you can tie it to keep the tongue up. Please use it if you are experiencing your tongue slipping down while skating because this issue can be solved within seconds. All right, that is the end of our lesson today. And the two things that I want you to take away is that you shouldn't be in any pain while skating around the ice rink. If you get on the ice and you find yourself like wanting to cry, something is going wrong with your skates. The second thing is you shouldn't be getting off the ice, retying them every 5 minutes, because you have to remember, you're only on the ice for an hour. So if you spend every 5 minutes retying your skates, you're gonna have a wasted session and there's something going on. So check out your foot pain and how you tie your skates. Thanks for watching Next Edge Tutorials and looking forward to seeing you in our next lesson.